Hello everyone. I don't have big things to do today, but I would like to just make a few details that I was missing and I would like to have. Could be nice to have. One thing that I would like to do is in the mission you arrive into this place and then you go to this house, and then for some steps this guy is unlocking the doors, and I think it seems a bit strange for playing that at the moment it was closed and then it's being opened. So what I'm trying to do right now is this guy will talk with you and it's not unlocking the door but giving you a key. So that's what I would like to do. It's just adding a key after conversation of this guy. One thing that I'm missing, I forgot about this, is I would like to where's my detectors? Items here. I'm missing this one, I think. Okay, so first thing I will find this guy. That's the conversation. And the dialogue. So after the conversation here, it's not unlocking the door, but should be giving you. So it should giving you the key. So let's say add layer add item here, and the item that I would like to add is make item, and should be, that's the key, one of them, and the thing is going here, and then that's the ending conversation. So I will just remove this, that I don't want to have unlocking the door but just giving you the key. So at this time you will have the key, which is fine enough for you to go inside of the house. So let's check this one if it's working, and this guy is giving you the key, and then we will try later if this key is working in the door. So let's have the conversation here. Okay, yeah, you have this key already here. Well, the icon is not good, but anyway. So you have the key after the conversation. Let's add also some information about that. Okay, so this one is already working. This guy is giving you a key after a conversation, and then what I need to do is this building I would like to have, and I don't have here, so I think I will add this variable key required to have, will be something like that, and then need to be a item type. Okay, and the next thing is during construction script I will add. So I need to take the door, that's my door, cast to door BP, no, get child actor, sorry, and this actor should be cast to door base, I think. Let me see, this one is door BP. Yeah, so no, not this one. So cast to door BP, and after that I would like to have get door, and this is the one that I need to cast to the door, or probably better I will add function here. So this door BP, and I will have like unlock this, or probably I will add here the variable, probably or adding a new function like set key required, and then this parameter key, which is an item, and what it's doing this is just taking this door base, good, and then it's just set key required, and should be managing already this key for this door. So required key required. But I think I would like to do this one in just begin. I don't really need this one in the constructor just in case that this is not working. So the next thing is going to this instance and assign here what's the key that I need. So where is my key required? Okay, and then say key small house should be working, and just for testing faster I will just have here the key. Hey, hello Silver, I see you today. Also using the what is this, Android or iOS? You are using the phone? Interactive, pick interactive here, and I will just put something. I don't care, this one. Just adding a few things for the first demo mission. So this one should be okay, and then taking this one should be just this one. And let me see if I can open it. Okay, I can open it. Let's try again without this. Okay, door is locked. Okay. What's happening if I just put in this key here and then try to close? Okay. Okay. Small detail. The message is not proper. One. Door base PP. This one. I was finally creating the door and then doing a much more complex door, and then replacing all the doors in the houses with the new one that I have all the functionality that I really need. I have still some problem with the lights maybe, but I will check later. Right now it's just enough for this. So in case that is door lock, should be key required or is locked. Okay, I will have here a different message for equal and no item. So now it's working much better. I have all the options like being inverted as opening always forward, having for example this the key required, and then the universal key I'm using for debug, and managing the actions and having things like locking, unlocking, opening and closing, and all those things that I need for any door. So I was just reusing this same door for all the houses, and for some reason I need, for example, extending a few things to be managed at home. In the houses you have also lights that you need to manage when you are entering and leaving, so I was just creating this on open, on close dispatcher, and I was just binding later in some instance that I need to create or just extending the class. I was just binding this on open, on close event, so all the things that I need to manage later is just from here, but not being in the base class, because not really having all of them having the same. So let's do a message here in case that it says it is locked and you don't have the key. But the thing is, if you if it's true, means the door is locked, and that's all. It's just not having any message for this one. But in case that you have any key, or it says there is a key already defined, should be like you don't have the proper key. Key missing should be enough for the message, I think. So this require here, and let's check what is happening here with different message. So it's much better to have only one base class for everything, and then every time they need to add any things here, much easier. Also, I was removing a lot of code that I was just using for navigation and so on, but this navigation mess, I was improving this when I was watching this streaming with some game dev, and then my nav mess a bit better, and I can just close the doors and going inside and outside. So it's just I was removing a lot of code from the doors that I don't really need this. And let me show you. So now you have closing the doors, so they can find the path to go inside the houses without any special or tricky code or anything, so that's fine. So let's see what is happening here now. This one should be okay, key missing, and then its opening is fine. But what is happening here if I don't have any key, or it's not required, so it's just locked? Should be the message like door lock, and that's all. Even having the key, there's nothing happening because there's no key available, because by default I'm just locking all the doors that you cannot go around or close all of them. So in such cases you need a key. This one, some cases it's just locked and then you don't have any key to open it. So okay, let's try again. Key missing, then opening. Let's leave, for example, here the key missing. Okay, it's fine. Just to avoid that you cannot close the door if you are leaving the key. In that case, you could be maybe doing here and then closing the door, and then you are missing the key inside. So let's say that opening and also closing is checking for the key, so you can never leave the key inside of any house that it needs. So it's fine to have like this. Okay, so the thing is, let's remove this one, we don't need this. Go to this guy again, and let's do the sequence now for the first step. So here's that conversation. Okay, it's fine. Should give me the key here, and then just in case. Okay, guys. The key should be enough for opening the door. Exactly, and then it's work. So this first step is also working with the key. Probably maybe I will give the same here with this, giving me a key for opening this door. I think that I should have also the key for them. So in that case, probably we'll have a key required for all the houses, yes, just as a parameter. So in that case I need to have this one in the building. Yeah, I think I would like to do things like that. So the buildings are, where are buildings? Buildings, not this one, blueprint, buildings, and just building base. Here I will create variable key required as parameter that I can configure, and then it's item type here. Okay, so you are here now, and maybe you are watching from your PC, so you want to see something that you didn't see, because I was just talking about the doors yesterday and I didn't do much about this. Let me see, there is a key here. Yeah, there's a key required here. Perfect. So in case that is working, should be here the key required. So let me take this code, or maybe here. That case is all the doors. Okay, it's not like this. When I set from, oh great, so just let me know if you want to see something or know more about some part that you maybe didn't see before. Set rooms, it's just doing it close to a door. Unlock, try to lock door, set rooms for light, says taking room, set room with the door. I will assign only when you are adding the door. So since find here, adding the door, and then this is door child actor component, so I need to take all those things. This is not needed, and this is the key required for Y. No idea. Okay, so remove this one, and it will do this at the door here. In case there is a key or something like that. So then I have a call for any building can allow to manage for any key. So I can define the key for the doors should be working. We will text right now with this building. So in this case I will remove this one. Find reference, where is the find reference? No result found. Okay, delete, say compile, and should be able to define here the key. So let's check first that I don't have the key. Lock door, okay, but should be, this is item required. Okay, item required here. Let me see if it's just asking for the proper key. Yeah, so yeah, I have like a parameter for every building having or missing the key in case that you are defining the key for them. Okay, so just let's add something here. A cube, doesn't matter. Let the key, let it play, pick up the key and it's opening. This is fine. Okay, so it works. Then having this one already, I think I will add also key for this one. So this one should be a key for bake house. I think I have this code in my C++, so I will just add a few code here for little parameters, something like that. Key bakehouse. I need to recompile. Bakehouse. That's fine. Yes. Okay, I will recompile to have this new key that I was adding, and I think that I will just replace, or anyway, I will keep this like missing item, so I can see that this is still missing. So I will assign to this bakehouse, I will assign a key that is needed, and then this baker, so we'll have I hope it's not crashing. I don't have a lot of RAM for compiling at the same time. So the baker should give you, after the conversation, also should give you the key instead of the same thing here, like unlocking the bakehouse is not the right place, so it should be like player add item, and then I will add here the item that is needed. And then just let's go this way. The thing is, okay, that's I need to remove this item from the player, and in case that is leaving, there should be able to find this item. Yeah, that's the problem, that I'm giving, for example, the player an item, which is fine, giving you the key for the bakehouse, but I would like to lock again during night. So the problem is that I should remove this item from the player, which is fine, but he could, for example, just hello Battleborn 50. How's it going? This one is fine. Yeah, I think I will. Yes. Not sure about this. I will keep maybe this one at the moment, as it works fine. Oh, really? Oh, this is nice, because most of the people is just like no weapons, or not interesting at all. Can you kill someone? No. Oh, there's nothing interesting about this game, you know. So it seems like the only idea is just killing pixels on the screen, and that's all. They are lucky because they have like 99% of the games is just like that, you know, start fighting or just shooting, and that's all. You don't need to have any story, or you don't need to think about any puzzle or anything like that. So yeah, but that's great. I think that I know that it's not for everyone. Let's say this game is not for everyone, it's fine, but as I say, that's so good that you have everything there that you like, you know. So that's good. I know it will be not so popular, but well, anyway, it's just indie game that I'm doing alone, so I never was expecting being rich or being, you know, big numbers in Steam or things like that. So it's fine. Just I hope that people is enjoying, because the idea from this game was coming from yeah, exactly, there are people just exploring or just walking around and so on. About reading horse, I was thinking, because yeah, this is some of the ideas, because this is single player, and it's not like The Witcher with 100 hours playing or something like that. But the thing is, the story is going through a few towns, and also you need to go to the castles and things like that. So one of the ideas was using something to teleport, because I don't want to make like a thousand of kilometers of map and just walking without any gameplay during forests or things like that. Of course you can have like robberies in the ways or something, which is also fine, but in the end you are just maybe fighting a game or things like that, you know, just taking your money, stealing your items, things like that. And the thing is, I don't want to create so big map, huge maps, and just walking during hours, or for example these things like that, like reading horse, but you need to take 10 minutes to go to another town and there is nothing to do in the middle. So I was thinking that maybe that's the idea, is just creating the towns that I need for the story. So you need to do a few things there, and then just progressing, and then going to the castles and doing more things. And I will probably will do like I have right now. It's a small town and it's closed everything around, so you cannot walk around. Just small thing. And the thing is, using kind of teleport, like do you want to go to another town or do you want to go to the castle? Okay, it's fine. In case that you are, let's say, walking, you will take like 3 hours of your time, for example, but it's just speeding up the time, so you don't really need to wait for things, because the game is working real time. I mean, one minute in game is 1 minute in real life, but you can speed up the time. For example, sleeping, you don't need to really wait for 8 hours sleeping, so it's like, okay, 8 seconds sleeping means 8 hours, things like that. Or for example, working on farms, crafting, things like that. But I mean, if you are doing things, the time is passing, so the thing is finishing, for example, and then you are spending 1 hour or 3 hours, things like that. So if you want to go to another town, we say, okay, it will take 3 hours, for example, or 1 day or things like that. And well, it's just 5 seconds in game, it's just loading screen and that's all, or things like that. So not really spending the time, but you spend this time in your game, so you have 3 hours less today to do things, for example. And in case that, for example, you want to use a cart or a horse, you need to pay maybe some money, and then it takes only 1 hour, things like that. So have some cost. So the idea was like just teleport with some cost or not maybe, but the cost mainly is about time playing the game. So you spend time doing that. So it's not the idea like you go all the time jumping from there to coming, going, and things like that, because you are spending time, and then it has cost for you, like you don't have enough time during the day. So in case that you want to go to another town, you probably need to think about this, maybe going in the morning, doing things, and then coming back during night, things like that. Because also during the time you are working or just living, let's say, you are being more and more tired until some percentage, and if you are so tired, you can, for example, not run, or you cannot work in the farms, or you cannot do a few things if you are so tired, so you need to just sleep and rest and then recover from this one. So that's the thing, to make some things that you need to cut down and then just sleep. And of course during the time sleeping, the markets are restoring, and items around all the resources resetting, and a few things are happening during night, that everything is restarting. And for example, in the meeting with another NPCs, let's say you need to meet tomorrow, things like that. So the time is passing and you have day and night and everything. Let me show you. I have this day and night here. It's fine. I have a few keys. I have a few keys to speed up the time or something. So you can see on the right, this is 3000 times faster the time going. So let me see here. So you have the all day and night, and then you have the night, and then you have here in the morning that is coming. So yeah, I'm just of course speeding up this, but well, I don't know, it's just kind of Skyrim or not, but I mean, it's just another game, and it's not so complex like Skyrim or not so big. So the idea is that the the first idea was like small castle, but it's completely closed, and you are doing the whole story there. So it's just everything that you need to do was being planned to be in the castle, like meeting people, talking with someone, buying, selling, and so on. But then I thought that I would like to have at least town, because it's something like you start from a town and not starting from the castle, which is more or less the last one. So I was thinking about the town, and I was thinking, okay, I can create a few towns already. Well, about relationships, I didn't think about this, or maybe the NPCs will be not so complex. But I mean, at the moment, of course, I don't have all of them, so I have only 3 different mess models, let's say. But in the end, all of them will be completely different. So I mean, you will not have repeating elements or repeating NPCs. So every single NPC is completely different. And as you can see here with all the assets that I have like, this is the mess, and this just a pound that is coming for using, for example, the nav mess, navigation mess, and things like that. But this is the logic. So this baker is having this baker helpers, this is logic for this one. And every single NPC have your dialogues, your plans, and your money, and everything like that. So every single NPC is unique, and I could have something like relationships, but I didn't think about this. Yeah, for example, I have already like houses. So this guy has one house, this one, and he's going inside during the night, but another one is having this one, it's going to night. So every single NPC has their own houses and plants and everything. About eating and drinking, yes, I have already food, and I don't have the mechanic for eating and drinking, but I have already this, for example, food and drinks, and I have water also that you need to collect, and this is working already for the water in the, for example, the well, and I have some places for water gathering and everything like that. So eating and drinking it is, but the main idea is it's just what I like to have in a game. So I'm doing the same that I would like to have. It's not survival, and I would like something more than just eating, crafting, and then I don't know, farming, and then No, конечно, у меня не это русский акцент, потому что я испанский. Но русский тоже могу. Если вы не можете спросить все на английском, я помогу. Хорошо? Вот. Then the idea about eating and drinking is I don't want to spend my whole day doing that. Just repeating all the time the same tasks. Just eating, drinking, sleeping, eating, drinking. I would like to follow also the story. So the thing is, just to have things to do, you will need to work in farms, and this is also helping or earning money. But you can also, for example, pick up some resource from the forest, which is giving you also some money, and you can buy and sell, it's giving you some money, and from time to time you need to eat and drink. It's just the only way to, let's say, spend your resource. So you are, let's say, collecting some wood, and then you are selling this wood, taking some money, buying some food, and after that the idea to eating is just consume those things that you are collecting. Anyway, if you don't have any way to spend this, you will have a lot of them in the end, you know. So the idea about eating and drinking is just the same like being tired, that you are doing things and then spending or just consuming a few items and then you need to do again. So it's like removing all of them, but it's not the main thing, like being survival all the time, eating and drinking, and this is your task, like walking around the whole day to find just, for example, water, which is much easier. You have here the well. Let me show you that you can well, the thing is I don't have, so there's not bucket. Okay, I will add here right now to see. So it's just, let's say, it's so easy. I will put something here. There's a bucket, empty bucket. Okay, let me take this one. Okay, I have a bucket here now, and I can fill this one, and I could drop because I have already full bucket here. So it's just so easy to have water. You just need to come here, and this is just spending time coming here, leaving, and so on. And you can also put your water in some things like that. You can put your water that you have already. So let's put this one here now. For example, this one you can drop here. So I have this full bucket, and then it's empty already, and I have 3 of water. So it's just so easy to take water, but it takes time. You need to go there and coming back and so on. So it's not like the main thing finding water. You can find water very easy, or you can find food also very easy, but it's another thing that you need to do. Русский знаю, потому что я в России жил и тоже работал это Север Европа, поэтому так русский могу, если не может, не проблема. Вот. Но я настоящий испанский. So the idea is having a lot of things to do, like eating, drinking, sleeping, working, selling, buying, and picking up things, crafting. You have already crafting, and I was thinking also that it's not done yet, but probably you could also do fishing here. So it's like you don't have a lot of things to do every single day, but you have a few things that you can do. You prefer to do this one or another one, things like that is fine. So you don't really need to do all of them every day, because in that case you don't have any time to follow the story, to talk with people, meet with people, or go to some place to see if you can do things there, and so on. So if you need to really do things all the day, there is well, this kind of survival. You don't need any story. You just need to collect things and then just gathering resources, which is not the main idea. I mean, it is not the only thing sitting here, because it's not point and click conversation game, but I would like to do things. And also the idea is feeling that you are living there. So living there, you need of course to sleep, eat, drink, talking with people, working in farms, and also the food that you are taking, this is the same like they are doing, and then you can do the same thing that they were doing during the daily life, but in the end it's just a game. So it's not like a breathing simulator, things like that. That's it's too much. So in the end, it's fine to have some realistic things, but well, being just a game. So for example, besides another games, if you are just picking up, for example, stone, you can find a weapon under the stone, or you cannot carry 5,000 items of stone in your pocket. So something very realistic. It's just a game, it's fine, but okay, but at least a few things that are not so stupid, like okay, someone is giving you an information, is giving you a paper under sandstone in the mountains. Well, in that case, he's just going and talking with you. It's just stupid going there for a note, a paper or something. Hunting, I was also thinking about this. It's not so hard. And I was already checking some models. There are some people that are selling even with animation and everything, so it could be. This is not so hard to add this one. Really, it's not so difficult to have, and this is something that I would like to have. As I say, for example, fishing is not so hard, so just having a few tools, you can just do things like that. Right now I'm just trying to finish a really small demo, and I'm just cutting down a lot of things just to finish on time, like Sunday. But yeah, if I have more things, like for example fishing, hunting, and then collecting, just picking up from the forest, and more things like that, is giving you more options to do things that, as I said, you don't need to do all of them, but you have few things to do, and then you choose which you want to do. It's just, if you don't like, for example, hunting, or you don't like sitting down fishing, okay, go for other things that you don't really need to do all the time. Yeah, and it's not like for the mission, it's just collect 5,000 stones. It means, what's the meaning for this one? There's no meaning for the story. Like, okay, and then collect 1,000 wood. Okay, and what was the reason to have this one? But like, for example, find a house, or find who did something, or just talking with someone, and learn to do a few things, and so on. Well, about building, right now I don't have any building system in the game. I'm even not planning to have. I mean, the things are as I them, and the thing that I would like to have, and probably it will be, because it's not so hard, is well, it's just kind of a spoiler, but it's fine. For the first thing that you are doing, you are taking this house. This small house is yours. As you can see, it's so small, you don't have much things there inside, for example, like furniture, and also you don't have any home garden, so you cannot work here. And then you need to talk with people and agree to work in some other gardens from other people, and then you are taking some percentage of the, you know, of the crops and so on. So it's yeah, that's the way to work. In the future, if you earn more money, then you will buy a new house, you will move, so you can buy new houses and new home gardens and things like that, and then you are improving, growing, and then improving your skills and so on. But like building is not exactly the same. Well, the thing is, this single player right now, I'm not even planning to have like a multiplayer, because the main idea of the game is following a story, and that's all. So being multiplayer, not sure how much it makes sense. And of course could be like every guy is following your, let's say, kind of your story or at your step, and then people is helping you and things like that. But then it will be much more complex, and then there's multiplayer, and then at least some servers and so on. So in case that is finishing, is working fine for single player, I will think about multiplayer. But right now, trying to do something so big like MMO or open world RPG multiplayer, and well, it's too much. So I'm alone, so I'm doing everything as you see. Like I was just modeling, texturing, all the lights, the terrain, lighting, the code, C++, level design, the user interface, everything that you see in the game I was doing. So yeah, it takes time, and making so huge game, because there are something, for example, as we say, like Skyrim or even The Witcher, that they have like, I don't know, maybe 115 millions of dollars for budget, and they have like more than 100 guys working on it, you know, which is fine. But I'm not planning to do anything like that, you know. I don't have any budget already, so I'm doing just in my, let's say, my free time. So yeah, so it's not the way to try to do something so big. So yeah, at the moment it's fine. Just you need to buy a few different houses, and then you are improving and growing. Because I was thinking 4 different roles. I think I was writing in my in the website. I think it's there. I'm not sure. Okay, I will add a few links here. Auto spam, auto promoting. The idea is, initially, of course, you have only one. Everything that I've been talking is so small, because I want to finish something and not doing so big that it's never ending. So I was just cutting things, and now you will have only one role to play. But in the future you will have, or I was thinking to have 4 roles in exactly the same scenario environment. So exactly the same game, but you can choose different role, and then you have different story to follow. That's all. So some of the roles that I was thinking is, one of them is farmer. That is the one that you can play the first time. So it's just self. Your main idea is just farming and improving your skills and learning about home gardens, about orchard, and about, for example, plants, trees, and flowers, vegetables, and so on. So you are learning about everything, and then in the end you are just on the way to write a book for all those knowledge that you are earning during the game. So that the final end for you is writing this book with all the skills that you were learning about the game. So you need to make some steps and make with people, and they're learning and so on. This is one of them. Another one could be the role is a monk. So being monk, you need to be, let's say, your final destination is like being a pope or something like that. So you need to also learn a few things, meet with new people, going to maybe a abbey, or maybe going to the monastery or cathedral or things like that. But you will be in the same town with the same people and everything, but of course the different dialogues and so on. But you are in the same place at the same time, but you have completely different things to do. And another one will be the smither. So the blacksmith, and then you need to create, for example, the armory of the king, and then you need to, of course, learn a few things, and then, of course, collecting money, earning money, and they're learning things and talking with people and so on. So there are a few big story for different roles that you are choosing. Right now the only one is the peasant, that is just a farmer, so you will need to learn about all the croppings and everything like that. You already can plant, farm, and harvest the things, so this is already working, all the mechanics, and then you are just learning different seeds and different plants and everything. So building means at the moment I didn't think about you can build anything. You don't really need to build, like for example, your own house, or in case that it's something kind of survival, you can sun defense or things like that, but it's not really at the moment. So what about, for example, as I say, like hunting, fishing, or a few things that you can earn some money, which is fine, you know. So yeah, I think I will add as much as I can, just for giving you options to progress. And for example, I will just show you the first demo mission that probably will be later, but just the idea how it works. So this is starting a new mission, and then you can see here the new mission here, like this is a new place to live, and then you have like find a place where to stay, so you need to find this house, and then you need to buy your first tool to work. In that case I have already everything because it's just for testing. In the real game you don't have anything. And then after you have this one, you could harvest some food, and then is that the way that you will learn how to do all the mechanics, how to improve your skills about crops and everything. So that's a few steps. That first thing, you need to be in a place where to stay, and then you can rest there, and you have also some vault where you can put things that you have also, and then the next thing is like work or harvesting, and then harvesting says you need a tool, and this is another thing that you can go to the farm and to the market, and here you have the market, and you can buy and sell things. And the first thing that you need to do, of course, is just buying a tool, but buying a tool needs money, and to collect this money, and then you have a few options, as I said, to earn some money. With this money you buy tools, and with these tools you are just working and then earning more money, and then buying a new building, and then you have more space and your tools are better, your skills are better, so you are harvesting or cropping faster, and then you are earning more money, and that's all, you know. Just levels at any game, because in the end just a game, so you need to have a few things to do. So on all those process for the story that you need to follow, talking with people, improving your skill, learning and everything, I don't think that I really need to kill people to increase my skills or anything like that. So this makes no sense killing people in this story, that you are learning things and just taking resources. So yeah, I don't think that I need to kill people, you know, to be fun. That's just me, and let's say that's my game for people that could enjoy it also, and that's all. Not for everyone, as I say, I understand, it's fine, but yeah. So that's the main idea for the game, following story, and then, as I said, you have a few towns, different NPCs that you need to talk. You have also the castle. I have already some part of the castle, but it's not. It's another level here. Yeah. So I have even castles there. So I have all the buildings and so on. And the first, the hardest one is making the first one, because after that I can reuse all the NPCs, all the assets that I have, the lighting, the maps, and all the mechanics, everything. So the only hardest part is doing the first one. After that, making towns is not so difficult, and the only thing is, of course, creating the story, so creating the real game, because in the end all those assets that you can see is just decoration for the story, you know. I don't really need well, you need the house where to be, but it's not part of the story. Yeah, that's the thing that I was talking, that you have 99% of games fighting, so it's not a problem if one of them is not for you, you know, it's not fighting and you don't like it, it's fine, no problem. But you have thousands of them, so it's not a big problem. Like, you are trying to find a game fighting and nobody's doing, you know, it's not the idea. So it's fine, yeah, I understand that not for everyone, but it's fine, it's fine. Just I try to do what I like, so it makes no sense doing for free as I'm doing my game for people playing that, doing something that I don't like, because I will be the first one not playing this, you know. So that's why I was just doing, and of course I was just playing a few games. And for example, this Witcher, I like this one. I like also this Kingdom Come Deliverance, that is the main idea of the game is more or less like this, but you have some combat there, not much of course, but you have some combat there. And for example, I didn't like much following this story that you have problems in the forest with those you know, bandits, and then it was just killing me all the time, because I'm not this kind of people playing this kind of game, so they are killing me all the time. I'm losing all my things, and it's really, you know, it's feeding up about this. I really don't like this one, you know. It was disgusting for me that, well, if I need to have a few clothes, I need to kill people, and then they are killing me, and then I'm losing everything that I have, and well, it's, you know. That is something that is disgusting me. I can't play you know, quiet what I want to do, talking with people, going there, because they are just coming here, coming to me and killing me, you know. But just, well, about traveling, I say right now the idea is teleport to not spend time walking on completely empty gameplay areas. Of course, you have a lot of forest and the trees and everything really nice, but you don't have any gameplay. You just need to walk for 10 minutes, you know, which is I don't want to do that, you know. It's not fun. I would like to play and not just walking. And then there are some people configuring the mouse having a button like Shift plus W, you know. Okay, so you need to configure a button just to be running, because it's just boring for you. So yeah, that's not for me. But in case that, as you say, there is a cave, for example, or could be a town, or maybe forest, or just a river, or things like that, that could be having some gameplay. In that case, fine, I will add this one. This is not a problem. But of course, not just adding like a 64 kilometers square of forest. You know, this makes no sense, really. Makes no sense. Even I was just implementing this with stamina, that you can run. The bar is not working, but the number is fine. So you can run for some time, as you are running. Okay, it's fine. But after that, you have a cooldown, of course. So that's finishing. It's cooldown. You cannot run more. You need to wait a bit, and then running again, and then just finishing. So this is long enough to just cross all the town, but the idea is this game is not running, collecting, running all the time like other games, so you don't really need to run all the time. You can go faster to some place, but as I say, it's enough to cross the world town running, and then just walk, and you don't need to run all the game, you know. It's fine. So it's just a bit different game. And people maybe were expecting something different, but they are lucky, as I say, that they have lots of games with exactly what they want. This game is a bit different, so it's just fine. It's fine. I hope that that's the idea, that enjoy playing at my pace, you know, the game, and I'm not losing. For example, think about die alive, because for example, there are something like that's the time. If I'm playing this one, why I need to do, for example, I mean, things why I should do something on time. I mean, you need to do something on time if you don't have any time to do. It's so easy, and then it's just boring. But in case, as I say, you need to meet tomorrow with this guy, you know, or this guy will be tomorrow here to sell you this tool. If you are missing, you don't have enough money, or you are not going there, this guy is leaving, then for some time, or reason, or anything like that, you know. So there are some ways to do things faster because the time is passing, but the time is finishing, things like that. But for example, about life and death, I don't think at the moment, I don't think that you can die in this game, you know. This what could happen, you know, die, and well, maybe in the future, but right now I didn't think about you can die. You're just playing, and it's fine. You don't need to be worried about losing everything that every time you die, you know. If you have even different roles to play, maybe you could play different roles. Or for example, if you were just working, farming, and then you were buying some house, maybe the next time that you want to play, you will be fishing, that you didn't do that. so it's fun for you now. It's something new, and then you will find maybe another house, things like that, you know. About weather, I didn't think about this. Also, it's just the same weather all the time, but at the moment I didn't think, because it could be much more complex, and well, it takes time. But at the moment I didn't think about this. I have only the same weather all the day, and also the sky is well, there are some tricky about colors and everything, but it's the default from Unreal. So I didn't change, for example, my own skylight or things like that. I mean the skysphere image. So I didn't work about this, because there are a lot of things to work, and I was wanting to finish as soon as possible the mechanics, so the game, the real game. Because, for example, as you say, having rain or snow, which is nice, it's just visual, you know. It's the, well, in case that it's using, or for example, you need to buy new clothes or things like that, it's fine. But without this, it's just visuals, and there's nothing giving you to the gameplay. So at the moment, it was everything that is only visual. I say, well, it's nice to have, for example, here forests or trees or things like that. It's nice, but they're just visual. I can play exactly the same without trees. And the thing is exactly that. It is boring. Adding trees or not, it's boring. You know, it's giving nothing to you. If this game is just boring or is slow or there's almost nothing to do. So in case that there's nothing to do, adding trees or rain or snow or things like that, it's adding nothing, just visual, which is really nice to have, but it's not much. So at this time that I don't have much time, what I was doing is just focused only on gameplay, things to do, you know, things to do, collecting, crafting, and things like that. That's the only idea at the moment. And after that, of course, I will have, for example, more models for houses, because I have 4 or 5, I think, 5 houses, and I have 3 tables and things like that. So I have a few of them, and I'm repeating all the time. It would be nice to have, of course, much new items or new things to do, or different towns or things like that. But yeah, at the moment, being so limited on time, only working on game mechanics and gameplay that you can do. As I say, for example, you can do this first small mission with a few steps that is involving more or less all the things that you can do in this game, which is fine. And in the future, of course, I will add a few things. For example, this hunting could be nice to have, which is not so complex, but there are something like side things that you can live without this right now. You know, not for the final game, but just to be limited on things that I'm doing. It's just things like that, you know, so which is fine. In case that you are even eating something that is bad, you have this place which is working already. So let me show you. Okay, you can just open the door and then you can sit here, you know. Which is working. It's fine. Things like that, that could be okay. You can have some gameplay here if you need it, you know. What do you mean about what they would do in that time period? You mean how are they living at this time? How they were really living, or were we think that they were living, because nobody was there, but what we think that they were doing during this time, yeah? Well, mainly people were so pure that they were working the whole day, and also at this time there are a lot of, you know, battles and everything, so people was also just fighting during years, things like that. Because now it's fine, and you take a plane and go to some place for battles, and before they need to walk to England from France, things like that, and takes days and months. Yeah. So the things that you can do, for example, is just farming and then resting, and then buying, selling, and then maybe tools, repairing tools and crafting things, things like that. Because I say, for example, you cannot find a weapon under a stone, because the weapon is expensive, really expensive, and there's not something that you can find in the forest. You know, this is stupid for kind of realistic game. In the end, it's a game. I say it's not a real simulator, but I mean, at least not stupid things like that. That at that time maybe a weapon or like I don't know, space, something like that could take, I don't know, the salary for a year or things like that, and only very rich people can have armor, for example. And you cannot find this in the forest, you know. It's just, well, being a bit realistic. It's just a bit stupid, things like that. So yeah, I would like to have the normal daily life there, but not being boring, you know. Well, about, I don't know how old is your son, but I have nephew, and I would like that he's playing his 14 or 15, I think, and I have already, it's not done, but I have kind of encyclopedia. So in case that you are arriving to, for example, I don't know, this place, you have an icon on the right that is, it's not there, but I will show you that I'm already working on it. So, well, you can see already that I was just doing here encyclopedia notifier and everything, you know. So I was working on it because the idea is when you arrive to some places, or for example here you have the well, or you have the market, or things like that. So in that case, you arrive there and you have an icon on the right that you can click on it and read more about things where you're going there, just from maybe Wikipedia or something like that. But I mean, small text that you can take more information about this. Or for example, if you go to let me show you something where I have this about some messes. I have, for example, buildings and prototype, I think. Yeah, for example, I will put a few things here, like this one or that one, not much. So for example, here, if you arrive here, you have here an icon explaining you why you have all of them, why they're using, for example, this one, or things like that. And for example, you have here small ones, as you see, but let me show you maybe another one. Here, for example, you have this for arrows and everything, how they were working, you know, or this one. So there's some small ideas about this, that the name of them and why are they doing that. And I have this one. This is one not finished, but anyway, I will show you. For example, here, maculat, I think that's the name of this. So why they have those, you know, holes here for the castle and everything. So things like that, you have some information about what was there, why, and so on. You know, that's information about a few things like that. Or for example, the well, you have information about this and things like that. Or for example, the river around the castle, things like this that are just small text with a couple of paragraphs. But you have this one, all those information, and could have like a small game, kind of mini game for, yeah, exactly, just maybe not people like you or me. I don't know how old are you, but I mean, probably you know everything about this, but people from maybe 14, 15, maybe 17, they can learn a few things if they are kind of playing medieval simulator, you know. Well, this, of course, so already you know everything that you have seen a lot of films, you know. If you are a bit little interested about medieval, you know about all of them, why they are doing, for example, the castles, and which kind of weapons they are using, how are they living, and so on. So the idea is this game is kind of realistic medieval. You are kind of a bit interested in it, and then for children will be, I think it's good to have some information like this, and then in the future you can have like a mini game, like complete the list of things. So find the world, find the, for example, this the walls, find also I don't know, the main door, things like that. So just walking around, crossing all of them, and checking if you know all of them or not. So I would like to have this one already, and I was working on it to have few things like that, like for example the granary, or to have even the bakehouse, for example, was like a communal building that everybody is going there and everybody can use that one. So in case I say, okay, find the bakehouse, you know, and or things like find communal buildings, that they are things like that. So yeah, well, we need to know from the past to not repeat all the, you know, all the mistakes, things like that. But yeah, so I was thinking already to have those information for I don't know, 4 children probably. And the main idea was just thinking about my nephew that is 14, but 17 is fine also, and could be fine. Also, I was thinking, okay, if my nephew is playing this one and is 14, what's the reason to kill everyone that you meet in the game without any word? You know, like, okay, guy is coming. This is a new guy coming here. Let's kill him. But what is the meaning of this game? You know. So okay, for my nephew, the game should be a bit different, but not for him. I mean, I would like playing games like that. Like, I don't need to kill people and just walk around. And maybe I could, of course, learn a few things. I was learning during the time, for example, just checking a lot of models and drawings and pictures and everything even from museums, how they did. And for example, just to take this small town, this is let's say kind of real town. The design, well, I'm missing here still the charts. I would like to have small charts here. Well, the violence is never the solution, you know? This is never the answer for any, I don't know, anything that you need to have. But yeah, so missing here is still the church, but this one, how are they? I'm also missing the manor house. Could be in this area, but at the time I don't have time to do that, so I'm just not adding this one. But you have the watermill in the river. Yeah, too much, really too much. Only one guy is too much. So yeah, but if you check for also the news and everything, it's just all violence, and all the games are like that. If you just, for example, checking any trailer for any game, it's just starting fighting till the end is fighting. You cannot see any. What's the reason of this game? Why should should play this game? What I can do there? I would like to see some, I don't know, some gameplay to see if I'm interested or not. The only thing that you see is just fighting. As in, you understand, fighting. Sometimes it's just cinematics, so it's not really a real game, but it's just fighting, you know. And that's the end. That's the game. You won't buy this one. I say, but what I need to do there, you know, just fighting. Well, maybe this is for different people, but it's fine. So as I say, that this town, of course, it's a game, and I was just a bit from my mind, but I was just checking the real maps from 13th century, how they put all the houses, where they put, for example, the wall, where they put houses, the watermill, the bakehouse, and things like this, you know. Yeah, that's the problem, that people from, I see most of the time people like, okay, I'm playing this Call of Duty, or what's this, another one, like, well, all of them are not the same. So they say, I was playing Call of Duty when I was starting when I was 11. Well, I understand that they like this one, they say they like this one, but what about the parents, you know? I cannot understand. They say, well, this is a game for you, you know, the sniper is fine. Look, this guy, let's just, you know, break the head with the sniper. You are 11, it's fine. Yeah, it's, well, there are a lot of games that maybe you can play at this time, you know. Yeah, but it's just my idea, and I see that, let's say, I'm not talking about I'm right or wrong, but I see that it's not the main idea, and most of the people that are not agreeing with me. So I see that which kind of games are selling more or less in Steam, which is the right way to do if you want to make money. And I cannot discuss about this. I mean, yeah, shooter is the one that they're making all the money, you know. So it's I agree. That's what people like and what people want, you know. So the town is a real town. I was checking this one exactly. It's almost the same Birmingham from 13th century. The real one was the map with all the things that they have. So I was just more or less based on it. So in case that, of course, it's just a game and it was just inventing the houses from some reference and everything from my head, of course. But it's not stupid things, or for example, this kind of palace castle with you have some rooms like, I don't know, 1 kilometer square the room without any single column, you know. It's just also stupid, like, well, it's fantasy, but maybe, or for example, just check the houses that I was just inventing mine. But I mean, they are, for example, inside, because you can go inside or any single house that you see in the game, any building. You can go inside of the bake house, the watermill, all the houses, the castles, the granary, small storage, everything. You can go inside of this one. So the thing is, here, for example, I was using all the here you can see that this wood is resting here, which is something how people do that, you know. And also, for example, the houses are maybe 30 meters square. Yeah, they are not using houses with 200 meters square. So the houses were small, really small, and for example, they don't have anything with metal things because it's expensive. So everything is just wood. Everything in the bed is bad, and everything was really dirty. You know, it's just the real one. They were dirty. They are not just gold around the castle. They just did everything. Also here, and you have here also. They were just dirty everything. So that's the main idea we want to try to do is, okay, you feel there like being dirty. Everything is small. They were really small houses, not so big or everything. Even for example about the windows and everything was more or less the same. For example, this one, if you go inside, you have just one room with everything, and then I'm missing here the fire in the middle still. Another room for just storing, and you have one single window in all your house, you know. There's nothing more. That's really a house. They don't have nothing almost. And also they have some space here for working. I was checking this one also, and this, well, it's a bit small, being honest, it's a bit small. Yeah, exactly, I have ready this one, but at the moment I will show you. Let me show you, because this is not light. Fire here. I have ready, so just particles there, and well, it's not well done now, and I need to put also some things for food, but I mean it's already there, and I was working with the lights and everything already, but the fire is it's just default fire, so I need to make something smaller and things like that. But yeah, already need to be here, and then just the smoke and everything inside of those house. So yeah, that was a real house. So that's what I'm trying to do. Even as I say, of course, it's just a game. Being so realistic will be so boring. I understand this, so yeah, we will just cut down a few things to be just a game. But yeah, small houses, not much. Everything is dirty around. Everything, all things, even on the roof, on the ground, everything like that. Everything was like that, you know. So I was just taking a few references and then just working on it. Or for example about the clothes also. This is just mix some up, but also I was doing something dirty and old, as you can see, all the things. So they are not really nice clothes, things like that. Yeah. So that's the idea, being something realistic with the real size houses. Everything is dirty, everything is wood. It's not about for example metal or gold or things like that. So they are all of them doing something really simple. All the houses you can go there inside. For example here, this is for the merchant. This is much bigger, and you have also here the house, and you have rooms here, another room here with a few windows, and you have here a chimney, which was not popular at all, but a few houses they have around this time, but only of course very rich people. So this one is a big one, the rich people they have, but this small one they have fire in the middle, and that's all. Of course they don't have any toilets, so that's the reason they have those toilets on the street, but some of them, of course they were there. And sun cards, houses here with sun rooms, and yeah, things like that. Yeah, all of them. Windows and doors. Let me show you. I will go here, for example. So you can go here, open the window, and even you have dynamic light. So you can see here, opening, you have more light inside, unless all of them can be open. And the light is dynamic, coming from even from the door and the windows, and it's a bit darker inside than being on the street, which is fine. If you have everything closed, it's expecting to be a bit darker, but if you open them, it's just having more light. And also it's according to the position rotation of the window, so it is going to the north or south, you have more or less light. So this one is not giving you more light, just because it's just the orientation of the sun, but this one is giving you more light because it's just pointing to the sun. And also it's depending about the time of the day, so in the evening you will have more light here, but during the morning you have more light here. So the windows are really working as expecting to be a window, and of course all of them are working. And I have also a few different model. I think this one, let me show you. This house, I think this one. Yeah, you have here different windows with this kind of things. I will show you what's a torch that I have for things like that, you know. Yeah, so it's a bit different thing, but more or less were like that. In fact, they were on the top, so maybe I will remove later this it's not so realistic windows, but we'll see. It's just a game. So you see, for example, being inside it's a bit dark, as you can see things, but you go outside, it's sunny. It was expected that the houses are not so big and windows are not so big, so you are expecting being darker inside. So that's the thing, being all the houses you can do the same with the doors and windows and everything. This one is broken. And what more is here? So the windows, bay house, for example, the watermill is really nice. I will, even if I have sound, I will just put stronger the sound of the computer. So I will just, for a while I will just switch at the music, and will be the sound for this one, this watermill. Let me show you. Not sure if you can hear the sound here, for example. It is you hear the river, and you have here the watermill working, as you can see, even with the sound. But let me show you, because it's just the sound here is tree sound, of course, but you go inside, you have different sound from inside. And also you can see here this complete model. You have here things here, you have here also the wall working, the wheel here. This is a real one, of course. I was just checking all the models for this one. And you have here to put your wood, and then you are doing all your floor, everything that you need to do. So everything was modeling, and it's not just fake houses or things like that. They are real houses. You have real zones and everything like that. So for example, for the big house, I will show you also here. So you can open this one, and you have also here for working. I will show you a bit of light here for working, and that's the way, for example, for crafting. This is crafting also, and you have here for baking, crafting, and everything. Everything is working. But the thing is, the user interface is really bad at the moment, but it's working. I mean, I have here the ingredients that they have. I need one, but I don't have anything. I need this one, for example, for making. I cannot make this one. Exactly the same here. You have what the items that you need to do for crafting. Everything is working. Well, I could show you already. Here, for example, you have wood, but you don't have the top bread and things like that. you have onions or you are missing onions, things like that. So you have all the ingredients for baking, and I have here a few things for helping me. So let's, for example, we will do this one. So we need this is just for debug, so you don't have all of them in the game, you know. Yes, okay, we'll take this one. And now it says, okay, I have this one, so I can make this one. Forget about the user interface, it's really awful at the moment. Okay, so I'm just progressing, the time is passing, as you can see on the right. Okay, that's done. You have already in your inventory the new item that you were just crafting. And then we will do that, but in that case we need a bit of water here, which is just for debug here, and we will do exactly the same. We are making, so we are just doing this one. Okay, that's done. So we have already here this new item, and after that we could already here making bread, as you can see. So it could be baking this one. I could bake, but they say it will be ready in around 2 hours, so during this time you can just walk through your things and then come later to have this one. During the time that we were crafting, we're spending 1 hour here, I think, and maybe another 1 hour here. So now the time is passing, and then it's not in the morning anymore, but it's around 12 midday. So time is passing, real one. And for example, for this one, I will just sit here and I will wait for a couple of hours. You see, I have for debug on the left corner the time that is passing kind of the game. On the right you see the time speed, and on the left you have this one. So okay, this is fine. The item is wrong, of course, because it's just bag and not bread, but anyway, so I could just pick up this bread. If I don't have any bread here, if I just picking up, I have my bread here ready. So crafting is also working. You need, of course, all the items that you don't have, and then just using for debug that I'm using. So you have here crafting. This is the bakehouse, and I have also, for example, where to put this one because it's just something fake. The granary here, no, not this one. Blueprints, yeah, blueprints, buildings, and no, not this one. The granary, what is the granary here? Okay, so that's the granary, and I will go inside. So you have here also all the buildings. You can go inside and outside. There are a few things here that I would like to fix. This one I need to fix anyway. And what more? Let's put again music back. Oh, this small storage here. F. Let's play a few cards, different cards. So you have here also a few things just for storage, no? So yeah, all the buildings are real buildings, not just faking all the things. And for example, for the stables here and the castles and everything, you can also go inside for the castle, the towers and everything like that. You can go there. So for example, if I'm using just this one, I will put here just in case. Okay, and I will just start here walking. Let me see, just falling down to the play here. That's too much. Yeah, it's too much. Now okay, so you are walking here. You can see I have all the proxies and everything, so it's just fine. Here it's just a bit dangerous of falling down. Okay, but you can see it's just, you know, everything is working, so you can walk around everything. Yeah, I also hate when you have really nice place and you try to go inside and you will never can go inside in all the game. So it's just, you feel like you are missing things, you know, like what is there, maybe there or maybe not. You finish in the game and then you never have been there, you know. It's just, I really don't like this. So I say, okay, every single house will have everything, for example, all the buildings, and you have the stairs that you can walk, everything like that, or even around the castle and all, everything. Let me show you this one. This one is out. This is broken, so it's something in the middle of the design. It's not finished, but this is the gay house, which is already too big. Okay, yeah, it's completely broken. Okay, fine, but you have already. Let me show if I'm not falling down, missing some proxies. But anyway, so you have here the castle, and let me show you. Here, for example, you have here this one, but you have also those one. You can go inside. So there are some rooms here and more windows, things like that. So you go there. You have also a few rooms. You can go inside everything. Of course, it's not finished. It's fine, but I mean, you can see how it is going. And I have here another room. That's the final room with rooms for the world, and of course you have here, if I'm not missing anything, about walls, things like that. So yeah, as you can see, you can go through everything around the house. So you can go inside of everything. There's not any single room or window or anything that you can arrive. So that's the idea, to have everything that you can walk around everything. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, maybe they put just for kind of a level design, which is nice, just filling things, not having. If they have, let's say, 3 houses for gameplay, they don't want to have 3, and they want to put a few things there. So they just complete the town with nice things outside, and also they don't have much problem with locals, lights and everything like that. So yeah, they don't need to have a lot of things. So maybe also for performance they don't have everything. In my case, I'm just repeating. I could create, of course, new buildings, not to have all of them exactly the same. But in fact, they were doing exactly the same houses for all of them, you know. But yeah, the idea is everything that I was doing, if it is of course finished, you can go inside and do things. Because for example, here in the watermill you will have the option to just crafting, baking everything. Here, for example, you have also in the bake house all the things. I am still missing this toolsmith or something that is not done, but of course should be something that you can go inside. The wall castle, the walls, I think all of them that they have are exactly the same. So this is completely being done. For example, here the farms, small things, even the toilet, you can go there, the door is working, things like that. Everything. This one is not finished, but you can go inside. It has also some proxies, I think. Yeah. I don't know exactly what I will do. What is the gameplay being there for example, for farmer? Not sure, but for blacksmith, of course, will be. Yeah, things like that. This is really good idea. Yeah, something small things, or just repairing, for example, repairing your tools. There's an option like repairing your tools instead of buying new ones, or probably they could maybe asking for custom tools that is doing just for you. And if it's hard for you to find the market, things like that, you can pay and do that. That's a good idea. Let me write this one right now in my short list of to do. That is like 300 pages already. But yeah, things like that, exactly what means makes sense for a realistic game. Being, of course, game, you don't need to eat and drink and everything like that, you know, it's fine, but things like that being used, having gameplay, and as I say, every single house that you see or building makes some sense there, and could be maybe having some gameplay or things to do, or going to there, or things like that, you know. So I don't want to have hundreds of houses empty and a few kilometers forest with nothing to do, just walking around. Because that's boring, you know. Maybe it's nice, you can take nice pictures for your portfolio or things like that, but it's just boring, you know. I don't want to walk and walk and walk again, and yeah, well, at least for me. So I was just doing the game that I could play, you know, having some fun. I don't think I can play mine because I know everything, you know. But well, of course, things like that. For example, everything or lots of the things are interact. This one you can put here water, as I say, coming from the well, put here, leave there, and so on. But for example, here you have benches that you can sit, you know, all of them. You can sit in the bench, and you have a lot of benches on the game that you can sit and rest. Because just sitting there is just passing time, but also resting. So a lot of benches that you can sit. You have the market that is already working, so you can just trade and sell things, and this is your money. Of course, the problem is about the user interface, so you know that. But I mean, you can sell, earn some money here, or you can buy things and spend your money. You know, so markets are working also. That all the gameplay that I was just thinking about this is just working. Also, the bed is working. Probably I'm not so tired right now. This number, okay, is so tired time is 20%. Also, all the doors are locked by using some debug keys and going there, you know. And you have here bed. You can open the things like that, the bolts to put things there. Also in the bowl, you know. To put their things or pick up them from and you can sleep. I'm missing of course the animation, but let's say you are 20% tired here, which is just a number at the moment, but it's fine. So sleeping, say okay, this time passing, okay, you rest already, and this is your you are not tired anymore. So yeah, exactly. You have also here a storage space for a few things that you want to put there. And as I say, you can put also water, for example, in some storage. You can store any item, or you can store, for example, water here. Do I have this one? Okay, so now I could fill and drop from this one with the water. And for example, in your house you have already one small one with where you can put things. So you can sit here also and rest. You can sleep here. You can use your windows, you can open your, you have here onion and bread, your windows, everything. So yeah, the thing is being interactive around you, or a few things, giving you more options to do. So yeah, that's the thing. And for example, you can pick up some resource from the forest. I will go to some place that is much easier to find them. This one here, well, cool down. I will just try to find some items here. So, well, I found one, so I can pick up this wood. I have already 5 here, so if I'm picking up this one, I have 6 already. Okay, I can pick up also stones. You have a few things here. Yeah, so you would like to find something more, but yeah, that if in case that is this one, okay, pick up. So I have a few of them. I could just try to sell them to earn some money and then continue with my mission, something like that. And you have a resource all around. So you have resource here in front, you have here, you have in front there, you have the forest there quite far. You have resource all the time, and they are spawning again during the night. So you can find a few things like that. I see. Well, maybe this one is boring for you. Okay, you don't need to do that. Then just go working farming or just fishing or things like that. So if you have a few options and you don't really need to do all of them at the same time, or just single time doing exactly the same all the time every time that you game, it's just exactly the same. So yeah. So yeah, it's fine. If you don't like this one, for example, it's fine. If you don't like crafting, okay, it's fine. If you don't like buying and selling, okay, you can do by yourself maybe, or things like that. So it's fine. What is this? I don't know what's this. Okay, it's fine. So that's what I'm trying to do, is you have a lot of options and you don't really need to do all of them, and it's not a survival at all. So I don't want to be stressful about, well, you have, as I said, you have time and you need to do things faster and not just, you know, watching around and then time is passing and then you are missing people or things like that. But not like you are stressful about finding water, finding food. If you are not finding food today or in the next 15 minutes you are dying, things like that. So I don't want to be stressful about just taking resources, you know, just an option, but it's fine also doing a few different things. So yeah, I would like to have some time to talk with this guy or go there to find maybe other people, trying to find what is happening, more than just picking up all the time resource, you know, or just mining, things like that. Could be nice to have them, and this is fine, to have ways to earning money or just increasing my skills, but just doing the same all the time is well, no, not for me. I will show you also. I have still 15 minutes for streaming after I need to leave, but I will show you also the farming steps here. But let me see if this one is paying. Configure that. Yeah, this one is fine. What I have here, I hope that I have enough. Set onion here. We'll see. So the thing is, you need some tool that we have already. You need some seed that you have already, because it's just for debug. So let's say you are here in this small one and you say plant. Okay, so this is just planting. It is it's fine. Okay, planting, and then you put some of them. You don't have more seeds. Okay, it's fine. So you have here small planting. You can see all the time on the left corner the time, but it's just from time to time updating. So let's say, for example, farming here. What I need to have is this one, because that I'm just removing this one. I don't have anything in my hand. So it's like, okay, you need at least some tools to work. Okay, fine. So we will put some tools in my hand. Of course, missing the picture. So okay, farming, and then this is just farming onions, but it takes some time. Okay, you spend 35 minutes, and also you are more tired after this work. Okay, so okay, farming again. Of course, so you have freedom to put your crops where you want in this area, of course. Yeah, so that's one of the things that you can put there. Things if you want to do. Plant, you don't have sets, it's fine. So now, if I want to work in this one, say it's ready for today, so you need to work tomorrow or not, I will just pass faster to not to wait for all the night. So it's fine. It will be passing faster the time. It's already night, and so on. Just to be next day. So let's say you were working on it, you finish, you have time to do other things during your day, and then tomorrow you will come again to. Okay, this is 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning is fine. So let's work again on it. This is fine. This is finished, and then this is working on it again. And say you cannot work anymore because it's just okay for today. Let's pass again. You are still 41% tired. Let's pass again another day. That's faster. So this sequence that I'm doing is something that you can do during the day, but as you can see, it's not taking a lot of time to do. It's just a few tasks, so you do there, and then you go to another place, and maybe a few tasks, and so on, and maybe gathering water that you need, or just buying things, just selling, and so on. So let's work again, farming on it, which is fine, and then farming. Okay, what is this? 52. This is fine. Going faster, and I will pass even faster. Okay. Okay, 8 in the morning. Still farming. A few steps that you need to do. And now since that they are already big ones, so let me see if it's just let's pass in the day. Okay, in the morning, let me see. Okay, they are ready to harvest, as you can see. So right now I don't have any onion here because I don't have, so harvesting and harvesting, and after that you have 2 onions there. So that's the process to planting, farming and harvesting. And after that, of course, you have this, all of them are just growing along because there's no mine, so it's just fine. But after that I could go to the market and then just selling, which I was just doing. Okay, so I would like to sell those onion for me, so I was just earning 14 coins for that. And after that I could think about maybe planting again, buy new sets, or just doing another task, or use this money to buy a new tool that is improving, and then I don't need to spend so much time about, for example, those seeds, or I could maybe produce better onions or things like that. Just kind of skill free as any other game. So this is also another mechanic that you can do. So you have this down for crafting, you have here is not yet, but should be, you have here buy and sell, you have the one for the water, that you can collect water from there and put closer to your house, so you need to go there every time that you need to have. Well, about torch, will be, right now it's not there, but I will show you that it's already there. I mean, if I here, for example, I have a key for the torch, so okay, so this is the torch there, so you can see a bit of light. Let's do let's move to night to see this one better. So this is night, and I will put that is 10 at night. Okay, so play. This is dark, but still you can walk a bit. I mean, it's dark, but not enough, because it's just a game, you know. So you would like to maybe walk during night, but not so easy. And of course during night the market is closed, people is just sleeping inside, so nobody on the street during night, so you have almost nothing to do during night, but of course you can walk. And then you can see this is the torch for walking during the night. And right now it's just only one light, but I was working on this one. Let's put something in here, Nasser. This the blueprints, first person card. The thing is, I don't have much idea about particles at the moment, so I need to work on it, but it's already here, so let's show you here. Okay, so that's the place for, of course the fire is too big, so I should change this one and maybe attach just those particles to some model with the torch, and then just using these psyche bones to move your hand to be here. But I mean, the idea is already here. It's not well done, not finished of course, because the game is not finished at all. But yeah, you could have a torch, not by default. I mean, you need to buy something or find a place or things like that, but yes, you could have a torch in the game to walk during night. The main idea is during night is nothing happening, but I was thinking that maybe in the town makes no sense walking during night, because you are maybe too tired and so on working. But maybe in the castle, if you are arriving there and you are more rich, you are not working too much, too hard, and then you are not so tired and you can walk during night, for example, or you have some kind of part of the mission to do during night, and in that case you will need to have this one. What do you mean hang on outside doors? Walking outside of the walls, you mean? Well, by default everything is closed. What is happening here? What is broken? Doors are not there for some reason. I'm missing the doors right now. I don't know what I did. Okay. Well, maybe you could go inside some houses and just picking up some products there and the store and things like that. You are just robbing things. Or maybe in that case you could have just a torch or something. That could be fine. Or maybe you are used to the torch, people can find you during the night or things like that. So it could be nice. Could be nice to have, as I say, I'm open to any realistic game or realistic things, like for example having the torch people can see you, or using the torch you can find items during night, things like that. Could be fine. What's happening with my doors? I would like to know. The fireplace, for example, for this one that I was just showing you here, the fire inside is the one for cooking, because you can also cooking. It's the same as crafting, of course, but you can craft food, and not only food, because for example you can learn about using some herbs, which is also very useful for you for your skills, and it will be part of the skill tree. So you need to improve your knowledge about herbs, and for that you need to have, for example, water there, and also some herbs that you need maybe buying, or just you are working on it and producing them, and after that you try to do, let's say, a few potions or things like that, and then you are learning how to do that, and then you are passing your skill. Well, I can do that. In fact, right now I'm managing when you are going inside or outside of the houses to change the light, and then when you are leaving, I'm switching off all the dynamic light from windows and houses and everything like that. So I can already switch on and off depending on the houses, as my houses are not just a model, because this one, for example, is not only a mess. As you can see, there are a lot of mess boxes and lights and decals and rooms and everything like that. So it's just a lot of things here, not just only the mess. So if I'm just choosing the mess one, is what's the first one, I think, here. So let's say I just to switch off this one. So okay, not visible. You can see there are a lot of things. There are elements, a lot of them. So that's the things that are there. I mean, I can control, for example, making a bigger one, or some distance. For example, if you are going through some distance from the house, I can just switch on or off some lights inside during night or things like that. The problem is they are so expensive. I mean, about performance, so I need to switch off all of them all the time. Otherwise, it's just killing my computer. By the way, I'm using a laptop, so cutting down to 15 frames per second, having empty map in Unreal Engine. I have around 30-40 frames per second in completely empty map, so I have a few problems with the performance. So I'm completely sure that you can play this game in low PC computers, because I have one of them, you know. As you can see, opening just this one is using 100% of my hard drive most of the time, 7 GB of RAM, so I don't have much RAM already, and my CPU is also working just having Unreal open, and that's all. Well, I have OBS, music and so on, but I mean, this one is working quite well. And I don't know about your computer, but people that was trying with the NVIDIA 970, which is more or less a good one, but it's not like Titan or things like that, they were reporting already around 110-150 frames per second, which is more than enough, of course. But just to know about the performance. So just cutting, for example, all those lights from outside is one of the reasons to be faster. The game is just cutting down all those things, but I could, as I say, I could just switch on some of them depending on where you are in the game or things like that. So, well, you have mine. I have NVIDIA card, but it's just integrated card, so it's not external or something like that. So probably, well, about the processor is fine. I mean, I don't think that you really need so powerful computer about your CPU. The main problem is about the GPU, and then you have, for example, laptop, you will have integrated also, as I have. My computer is not so old. I mean, it's just maybe 2 years old or 2-3 years old. It's not really old laptop, but well, comparing with people who are having also not big game, but I mean real game, not something for Android. Well, it takes some resource, so yeah. What is happening here? What says? Why not compiling? What was the problem with this one? Nothing? there is no problem, but it's error. Okay. Why this one is broken now? It was working. That's the reason I don't have the doors, because this one is breaking. Is it fine? I'm afraid that it will crash because it says what? Hot reload I have. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, so I need to do this hot reload. I will close a bit things because I have too much open. So yeah, it will be crashing probably. Yeah, so you can play this one for sure, and also it's not so critical to have 60 frames per second or 30. Even playing for, I don't know, even 25 could be fine. You can play and then you are not missing, hitting, you know, NPCs or fighting, you are losing or things like that. So it's fine. Even if you cannot reach 60 or even 30, it's almost fine. For example, one of the problems that I have with this Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is fine, is that most of the time I have 13. Sorry, I need to restart Unreal Engine because it's just cutting out all my RAM and it's going laggy, so it will be crashing soon. So I need to just restart and I will open again when it's just coming back. The problem that I have is that I have like 13 frames per second all the time, but when there are just some NPCs and then the battle is starting, I fall down to 3-4 frames per second, which means nothing. So after a couple of seconds I see that they kill me and I have no option to do anything because it's not enough frames. I have 8 gigabytes, but more of the time it's just for the editor. I mean, with 4 I'm completely sure that it's working fine for you. I didn't check it right now, but I can do that with a build that I have here. So I will just start this build to see how big it is. So right now, let's say I have RAM 3 being used, and I will start this building that I have, and we'll see how much it takes. Also, the problem that I have is my hard drive, which is really slow. This has 20 megabytes second peak, so most of the time it's just running like 3, 4, 5 megabytes second, which is really slow. For just I don't know, texturing or things like that. Okay, so this is my it's just a building that I'm doing. As you can see, it's 38 in full HD for my game. So I will just show this one and say 500 megabytes. This is the game already loaded, as you can see. This is the 500 megabytes. So I'm just going here, playing the game, because it's a build. It is without the editor. So this one is working, it's fine. And the thing is, it's using, as you can see, 500 megabytes. That's all. So the game is not really requesting a lot of RAM, and 4 gigabytes I think is completely fine. So there's not a problem for you. The only thing is about the GPU. That will be, yeah, faster or something like that. But I was working a lot about performance because I know that this is one of the problems, that if performance is quite bad, people is not playing. And my case is, as I say, 30 is fine, 20, 25 is fine, 4 is not enough, you know, things like that. So that's one of the reasons I was just cutting down on the lights, for example, and I was also improving a lot about the cool distance for the grass. The trees, I have still problems with the trees. There are a few models that I don't have any load, for example, at the time, because also I didn't have time to do all of them. So the performance is fine, and I could even improve a bit. I have some margin to improve still, but of course in the time I will be adding more things. I think so. Well, in the end will be more or less the same performance that I have right now, or maybe a bit better, but not much. So that's a good reference to the current performance will be more or less in the end. As I said, it's not really critical for this game, like people is not playing, they don't have 60 or something. Well, as you can see, there is a build that you can, let's say, play, and in fact I have finished already the first mission, really small demo mission that, as I say, probably I will delete later because it's not much sense to have this one, so maybe we'll delete later. It's not a real one, but it involves most of the game mechanics that you need to do, not everything, because for example you don't need crafting at this time, but you can complete already those missions. So you can complete this mission with these three first small steps to do a few mechanics, and then yeah, the game is almost, let's say, kind of finished. But I was just finishing things like, for example, this is the key and some of the plan of the NPCs, and I need to of course finish all the user interface. I have already icons and everything, but I mean, this is working, everything is working, but the user interface is missing. I'm missing some sounds already. There are some NPCs that are not completely finished, but yeah. So the thing is, I'm trying to finish all those small details to have this small short demo, more or less for performance, and people can just play this game mechanics. But I will not publish on yeah, I will put again those links. Okay, it's fine. So here do that, because the idea is I will give them this demo only for people. Let's say this is a closed demo for only for people that is following the game, and they understand that it's not finished, and it's even just it is just demo. I mean, it's not even alpha or beta game, and it's not finished of course, but only for people that is just following the development. They know where the game is, and people are missing things, and there are a few things that are not being or even not being included. So these people is fine. So it's good for them to have this one. They try this one, and they are not just complaining about the game is not completely finished, or they are having just some bugs missing and things like that. So I will do a closed demo for. I was thinking about the Discord, but I have not much people there. But yeah, so if you want, you can join Discord if you are using this one. If not, well, contact me on, I don't know, even Twitch or Twitter or things like that is fine. My website, the email, things like that. If you want to try this, I hope that I can finish this one in, I don't know, a couple of weeks maybe. Just try to finish this one as soon as possible, but there are a lot of small details, and then fighting, and then a few things like that. Well, what's happening here? What the problem is? Equal. Why I'm missing? Why I'm missing this one? Okay, let me exit this one. It will be much faster this time because it's just the cards, everything. And what I need to do is deleting my binaries, because I have a few codes from C++. So sometimes when I'm doing those reloading, host reloading or something, just losing all the reference or something like that. So I delete the DLL, recompiling again. It will be fast. Don't worry about this. So it will be fast, and then everything will be fixed. Otherwise, not fixing. So yeah, so it will be finished, but oh, perfect. Thank you. I'm streaming every single day around this time. I don't know about your time zone. This is Eastern Europe or Central Europe time. I don't know about you, if you are from USA or this side. So I'm streaming at this time every day, and I'm streaming 7 days a week. So on Saturdays and Sunday maybe. Well, and then you have like 8 hours less than me, I think. Things like that. Maybe it's 8 in the morning there or something. I'm not sure. Or this is the opposite one. This is no. This is morning for you, I think. So I'm streaming every day at this time, but during Saturday or Sundays I could do in the evenings, afternoon, which could be something like middle of the day for you probably. for some reason it's not. I cannot do this equal for an item. I don't know why not. Item type, just change. That's the reason to have this one. Okay, that's fine. So it's good because I'm doing more or less at your time for night or things like that. So it's fine. I usually only do for Sundays. I do in the evenings, but sometimes I do also in the morning. So yeah, could be the same time for you at the right time. So what about the doors? Okay, the doors are working already. It's fine. So it is working already. And the only thing that I need to check this one is okay, it's fine also. So yeah, it's working everything. So just in case that is fine for you, this time streaming is fine. But if you would like to see, yeah, you will be notified. I think if you want to see something at any time, or maybe you have any questions, as I say, you can use, for example, the Discord that I'm just checking most of the time, even not being online on Twitch. You can find me on Twitch that I'm doing every day, and also I'm just uploading later every streaming on YouTube, so you can check out anytime if you are missing something or you would like to see, I don't know, something that I was doing. I understand this is boring and there's no way to check 3 hours streaming on YouTube, but I mean you can just pass faster, you know, just jumping and see more or less what I was doing if you are not really interested on development for some reason. But yeah, you can check anytime if you are just missing or you have any other plan or things like that. So I just uploading also the videos there, and you have a lot of them. Of course, if you are, I don't know about, if you are interested about development or modeling or just, I don't know, level design or things like that. So there are a few videos for example, modeling. I was modeling most of the things. So I was modeling those house, I think this one I did, maybe this one I also did, the cards I was doing, all those tables I was also doing modeling during streamings, maybe some boxes here, not everything, but I was modeling a lot of things. I was also doing level design for most of the parts. I was doing something from shaders, and maybe some codes, yeah. So if you are interested on development on some part, I have a lot of videos of them doing like that. But if you are just interested about the game, which is of course even better, just come here, ask questions, try things, and as I say, I hope that I can finish as soon as possible this one with more details, and people can join this one and then try. Well, I'm missing not only food on the table, but this is the market and everything is empty. Can you see? Everything is empty, so there's nothing to buy and sell. So yeah, I need to add all things. I have already a few models with bread already. I was just finding from a guy. I was just talking a bit about the poly count and also the textures. So I have bread already, and I would love, of course, to have vegetables. And for example, this one with the onion that was my model, which is not really nice, but at least it's where is this one? Environment here, the crop. So that's the. This is just, of course, it's just 3D, but it's just taking the real color from onions. This one, so I need to just model different ones for different plants. You mean food? Well, any ads, of course, is welcome. It's just being, as you say, kind of realistic, not just cartoon-like things like that. It's fine. If even I can just maybe tweak a bit about the textures or everything like that. So yeah, definitely I need food. Of course, could be good to have, as say, hunting some even pork or kitchens, walking around, birds, things like that. So be also fine. I'm using Blender, by the way, but anyway, FBX is fine also. Yeah. And yeah, a few things that I'm missing about the models and everything is just, I understand that yeah, but you are just checking, and you understand that not everything can be done in the very first day, and not everything is finished because I'm just doing on Twitch because it's not finished. There are people coming here that they maybe play Minecraft every day, and they come here and say the Witch is much better, which I agree, you know, but they're expecting maybe to see the Witcher here, and they say yeah, it's just, you know, it's a game from a guy from home with a laptop, you know, it's not the Witcher, so they cannot understand that you are missing things, or of course there are a lot of bugs and things are not nice, not well done, and everything, which is fine. I accept any criticism, and I agree for most of the things that are missing, which is fine, you know, it's not the end of the world. But there are people that they take maybe something like kind of personal, that you are missing some items, which is, you know, it's just disgusting for them, or just, you know, making bad hair day, or I don't know, but it's fine. So yeah, exactly. It's just being honest. I did a lot of things, but more or less I don't know how much it is, 10% or maybe 15% of the game, and I don't know. And probably maybe I will replace most of the things that are not nice. For example, all the NPCs that are not nice, but I have at the moment it's fine. I don't have much time to do things like that. All the terrain, I need to change this one. Rock is fine. The trees are really bad, awful. The performance bad. They are not nice at all. And yeah, I will replace all of them because I don't like at all. But at the moment it's fine. I have this, and well, I can continue. As I say, it's just visual, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on things that are just visual and then just missing the game. For example, the user interface really need love at this point, so I would like to spend more time on user interface than being maybe doing, I don't know, flowers that are nice in the forest. So yeah, this is kind of, I don't have enough time, so I need to have like things, need to choose what to do and what not to do at this point, and I cannot do everything at the same time, which is fine. So I hope that so that's the reason. As you say, exactly, I say like, well, The Witcher is better, or for someone Skyrim is better. There's not a problem comparing with this one, for example, about, as you say, about game mechanics, you know, it's fine. So just the idea, you come here, you see a game for the first time, say, how is it working? Maybe it's working like this another game, or maybe it's more like this another game, but just talking about the mechanics that you need to do, but not about, well, Skyrim is nicer, you know, it's fine, yeah, it's nicer and bigger and much better, but as I say, they have $100 million as budget, you know, and they have a team of 100 guys, professional guys working on it. You know, I'm working here in my free time. This is not even my job, you know. Oh, cool. So if he has any suggestion or things that he would like to see, or things that could be nice to have, of course, welcome. As I say, that I'm doing streaming Twitch on Twitch, that people, of course, knows about it, but also people say what they like, what they don't like, talking with people. There are some people here that don't say even hello, because they think that they're, I don't know, disturbing me or stopping me doing my job or things like that, you know, like just stopping me. But that's the only reason to be here, because I can do exactly the same without any of you. And yeah, people is helping me, of course, with some suggestions, or maybe some technical things that they proposed, another way to do things, so it's helping me, or they see that I'm doing some mistakes, which is fine also. Oh, thank you. Oh, more people will be much better. Jungle Oats, hello. So yeah, people is helping me all the time, but if no of you is just talking or just using the chat or anything like that, the streaming are not really the same. It makes no sense. I can do the same being alone in my computer. It's not like that. So yeah, any suggestion, or even things like, I remember one guy was telling me like, are you planning to do celebrations like New Year? And I say, sorry, I don't understand what you want to say, you know, like New Year, about, I don't get it, you know. Maybe it's a good idea, I don't know, but it's so far from me to understand what it means. You know, what can I do? Maybe NPCs coming all together at the same place, or what exactly? Making party? This is single player, maybe, you know, like I have no idea. So any idea, even things like that, that's no sense, or maybe it's not clear what that you mean. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe you have some ideas and could be good. Of course, if people that like this one are interested in this game, they don't, let's say, suggesting what they don't find the game that they want to play. Makes no sense to make a game that nobody wants to play, because of course it's funny for me doing this one, but I will at least have people playing, you know. That's the idea, because I'm not planning to be rich about this, or selling maybe 1 million copies and then I have buy my mansion new one or something like that. Yeah, of course I need to keep, let's say, my main idea in the game. For, as we were just talking about this, are you eating, drinking? Okay, fine. Are you fighting? No, I'm not planning to change this one, you know. There are some things that I'm not changing this one because it's the main idea of the game. But there are many other things like hunting. Why not? It's fine. Maybe, as you say, you can see the lights inside the houses. Could be nice. It's fine. Why not? I didn't think about this, or even thinking I can change at any time, and yeah, it's fine. At any time, change things, adding new things at any time is fine. As soon as possible. Let's say, well, I'm missing here a door. Why is this one broken? Door base. What the hell? Why is this one here? Everything's been changed. I don't understand. Exactly. So since that I had lost a lot of things, not this one. What? Yeah, something's broken. Yeah, exactly. I was just doing the game that I would like to play. Is what I say, you know. That's the only thing. Yeah. So as I say, people is like people, another don't like, and people have suggestions fine. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. Since that all my doors are broken because of those hot reload, and then it's just going to the what's this house? Door base. What's this? This is this is broke. No, not the right one. Yeah, of course I'm enjoying what I'm doing. That's true. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But yeah, but people of course can just add a few things. I didn't think about this, so it could be much better the game and then can enjoy, and yeah, I can do more things of course. So yeah, it's always a good idea to have more people watching this and asking about this. So this is the door, this is not buildings, this one. So for some reason all my doors are here at 0 coordinated, so I just had lost because this one has, let me see if this one is also broken, or maybe I need to, yeah, I hope this is the main thing. I hope that I can finish this one day. Because sometimes it's too much to do that, you know, easy. Yeah, I hope that you can just play this small demo, short demo, and of course you have maybe some ideas about what to do, how to improve, and things like that. Definitely. So what about this? I think I will restart, reuse some of the backup of the map, because it's just everything broken, all the doors, and then it's just disgusting redoing all of them. Or do I have only 4 of them? Only 4 of them. So all the house is fine. That's house. Broken. Okay. Well, not really. Just doing a game. Maybe you are not doing, but it's not the end of the world. For sure, you will do any other thing that I'm not doing, so it won't be different. in case that you were trying to do a game and you really fail, then I could say, well, I'm smarter doing games than you, but not like a person. Yeah, I have lost my doors. And what about the nav mess? It's working fine? Yeah, that's working fine, but I'm missing also this one here. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. I don't know why, but I have lost, well, a lot of doors that I have. That's something broken with this whole reload, that I was just losing my doors, and then I'm missing all the doors here that I was just having. So probably I will just restart some backup from, I don't know really. I don't know what the problem is. I was just, as you can see, I was just restarting, being afraid that it's crashing later, but since that, yeah, already some problem here, I don't know. I will just restart the game from backup or something. Exactly, everyone have an opinion about what game you would like to see, which is fine, and we are lucky not everyone wants exactly the same, so just having an idea. And of course there are a lot of games that are almost the same all the time because they are selling well, but there are others that are creating something new when you think that it's not possible to create anything new. There are new games that are doing really something completely different new. It's not mine. Mine is just a copy from a few of them, and there's quite typical mechanics, so there is nothing really original in my game. Just not playing fighting, but you have, for example, Undertale, which is also fighting. Maybe it's not 3D and so on, but it's fine. I'm talking about the mechanics, so there is nothing really original in my game. And in fact, it's just people coming here and say, oh, okay, another medieval RPG game, you know? Yeah, more or less. There's nothing original that I'm just coming for a game that you never have seen, medieval RPG game. Of course, it's just, yeah, it's nothing original. It's just exactly the same. A few different things, of course, but exactly the same like many other games. Yeah. Well, I think that there are not a lot of people here in Twitch that they are developing the game. That's true. There are not a lot of people, but there are some people doing a few games. I don't know, maybe 50, 100 guys, not much. I don't know about YouTube because I was using YouTube in the past for streaming, but I like more Twitch for the community and a few tools that you have, like all those tension bots and things like that. So I just moved to Twitch. So maybe there are also a few people developing on YouTube. I'm not sure. There is also the new one, this Picardo, I think is the name. There are also some of them, but they are not so easy to find people doing games. But you have also those game jams where a lot of people is streaming at the same time when they are doing things. But this just a game jam is just kind of idea for a future game, not really a game or being developed in deep, things like that. But anyway, seems that it's almost finished, not finished at all my game, and any suggestion on the way is making a big difference because it's still too much to do in the game. Well, I'm talking, yeah, exactly. I'm talking about streaming. People is streaming about games and everything. And for example, as I have like, I don't know, maybe 50 followers, and like maybe 2 or 3 guys watching my stream, which is a lot for me. But I can see that any girl, as you say, for the boobs something, they're just pretending to play the game or pretending to do a game or things like that, and they have like 10,000 followers. And if you watch them for 5 minutes, you see that the mouse is not moving at all, you know, which is fine. People go there to see this lady talking about, I don't know, their problems or life, or I don't know. It's fine for me. It's not really bad for me, but I mean, they can have like 10,000 followers, and doing a real game you have maybe 2 followers or 3, but it's fine. I mean, I don't receive any money from followers, so having 3 or 3,000 is exactly the same money for me, nothing. So yeah, but I see that most of the people is just for the girls here, and yeah, it's so hard for us, for example, not only about having followers, but people knows about us. I see people that's also doing streamings every day, and they do nice things and everything, but nothing. You know, it's just they have 2 followers, 3. Sometimes they are completely alone doing the streaming. Yeah, it's fine. I understand. It's just you know, it's fine. So it's hard for people. Having followers, people following you, or for example things like that. People come here and say, Skyrim is nicer, do you have combat? No. And then you say no, and we say no, they already left the chat, you know. Which is fine, if it's not the game that you want to play, it's fine, you don't need to stay here, you know. It's just completely fine, but at least wait for my answer. If you were asking, I was thinking you are interested at least in my answer, you know, but since no. Okay, this is blocking also. This is the door blocking also. I don't know what's happening with the level, but a few things are blocking. It's good that they have exactly what's the problem here. This key is fine. This door base. What? That's the reason that everything was broken. Yeah, there are few people, not much really, that they are interested on the game and the process and everything what is being done, added, how it works and how long it takes, for example, doing things like that. Even if they are not developers, because most of the people are just developers. So here you can see most of the people developers just watching the game. So that's why I'm talking, let's say, kind of technical, saying what I do here, what I'm putting here, why I'm doing that, because people is just interesting about the development, because they are developers. So it's just, I don't know, 99% of people are just developers. So it's hard to find kind of, let's say, gamers or just people not being developers but interested in the game, you know, players. I don't know how to say this, but it's just hard to find that kind of people. Even Twitch is fine for everyone, and you can see that people playing these battlegrounds, they have 1,000 viewers, any random player, you know, and you are doing a game and nothing, just nothing. You can just fight here for some time and nothing happening. Okay, now is this fine the map already or no? Checking map. No, it's fine, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's hard to find followers, people following you, interested on what are you doing exactly, and things like that. It's hard. It's not that interesting, and also making a game takes really long. It's not, you know, because dropping assets is fine, but you have a lot of code that you need to do, and a lot of things that are not so nice, and then you have bugs, you have problems, and then it's just you know, developing all of them. And it's not just dropping assets, because level design is fine, you know, but it's not the only thing that you need to do with a game. There are a lot of code and a lot of problems with things, and yeah, it takes really long, and there's just people is coming here to see how the game is completely finished or almost finished or things like that. But you are watching people playing games, you have a lot of streams. This is not for playing the game. People is just coming here, can you play this one? Can you play and can see who is playing, and say yeah, of course, yeah, but you only want to see this game playing, and it's not finished at all. So it's fine that this you can play, but could be like play here and if something is broken, or my play have no collision or things like that, you know, it's fine. It's not finished at all. So that's why I don't want to give this short demo for everyone. Put in my site, you know, everybody is downloading, because it just makes no sense for that, you know. Okay, I think I will finish here the streaming because it's already time. I'm already even late. As usual, I do 2 hours, it's an hour and a half today. And Battleborn, I hope to see you soon here. And you and Anderson have some ideas, so we can include this in the game and make some difference and just improving this and doing more things. So I hope that you can test soon, and of course more ideas will come to your head with this. For the rest of the people watching the stream, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, everyone. I hope to see you soon, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.